Good evening, parents and students. This is a review for the ACT test tomorrow. If you're wondering why there have been tests twice in one day, it's mainly been because of our just weekly schedule and my schedule in my class. So there's been a combination of why we do it this way, but I told the students last week that the content test would be moved to today, and then the ACT test would be moved to tomorrow. And all of these are questions that they've had before. So this will just be hopefully just a review, and hopefully they will do very well. I just want to reiterate a point. I am an Algebra 1, Algebra 2 statistics teacher, and I want my students to learn what they need to learn. But the ACT is the most important test that they will take in their high school life. It has the potential of making them hundreds of thousands of dollars, as one student proved 3 years ago, where she received, because of her ACT score, a $100,000 scholarship. So this test is pretty important. So do not think that the ACT test is something that you can just brush aside, or the test that we're taking is something that you can brush aside, because you cannot pass my class without knowing this content. So focus on learning this content and learning what I'm trying to teach you, because the questions that we're going over are the first 40 questions on the test. Okay, I know there's various types and ways that these questions can be asked, but I just want to make sure that you have a firm grasp of the first 40. And so we are going over things and over things and over things. So please get to learn this material. If you're struggling with it, please come to me and say, I'm not getting this. Come to me before school. I apologize for not being here this morning. I was just running a little bit behind and got stuck behind a log truck coming off the mountain. So come to me in the morning or stay after school and just say, hey, I need some help. All right, so here's our review for our test tomorrow on 9/8. 15% of 150, we cannot multiply by a percent. We have to turn it into a decimal. And so what would that decimal be, and how would I multiply? Okay, question 2. She needs 75% of a 60-point math test. Okay, how many points does she have to reach her score or reach her goal? Okay, so again, cannot multiply by a percent, have to turn it into a decimal. What would that decimal be? Okay, in this case, I will give you a hint. It's 0.75. All right. Question 3. Oh, there it is, down at the bottom. Very similar to the top. What is 4% of 80? Again, cannot multiply by a percent, have to turn it into a decimal. All right, then this table, okay, referring to the ratios, or I should say, yes, the ratios of how old each person is in the troop. And so they want to know who is at least as old as a Bear Scout. Okay, at least. So we have to look at from here up. Okay, what is 150% of 264? Again, cannot multiply by a percent, have to turn it into a decimal. All right. Stacy is a waitress. If she has tipped 18% on a $36 meal, how much will she make? Okay, again, I know I'm repeating this, but hopefully by repetition it will stick in your brain. Cannot multiply by a percent, you have to multiply it by a decimal. I've already told you in question 2, all right, what that percent would be. So, or what that decimal would be. So now you've got to figure it out, and I want you to figure it out. All right. Question 7. Okay, this is a different question, and I like this. It says 4% of 50% of 5. Okay, I have to take this by the questions that they're asking. What is 4% of 50% of 5? So I have to figure this part out first. Okay, so what's 50% of 5? And then what is 4% of that number? Again, cannot multiply by a percent, have to turn it into a decimal. All right, of the 80 spaces at this industry, okay, 5% are reserved for handicap, and of the non-handicap spaces, 16 are reserved for company VIPs. How many spaces are not reserved for handicapped and are available to non-VIP employees. All right, so we have to take the percentage of 5%. Okay, I'm not going to say it again. You should know the mantra by now. Okay, so multiply. Okay, and then that's how many are reserved for handicap. Take away those plus the amount that are VIPs, and that will be left for everybody else. All right, okay. Patrick and Cheryl, okay, their bill is $42.68, leaving a 16% tip. Okay, what would that tip be? All right, then number 10. Which of the following list the items in order? Change all of your fractions to decimals. Okay, that's the easiest thing to do. Change all of your fractions to decimals, and then you can line them up. Think of your decimals as like change. Okay, like this. Okay, 79 cents and 71 cents. Well, which one's bigger? Of course, 79 cents. Okay. This is just wanting to know which one of these measurements is between 32 1/4 and 32 3/8. Okay, 12 is very similar to the one we just did, except now, again, it's asking you which one is the smallest, okay? All right, so that would be in this column. Which one is the middle? And then which one is the biggest in this column right here? All right, that's up to question 12. Question 13. All right, so now we're looking at percent changes. Okay, Kurt is getting a raise of 5% due to inflation. All right, normal salary is $56,000 a year. Okay, so I got to take 56,000 times a certain percent. Okay, and then add it to the 56,000. All right, a bed frame weighs 30% more. Now this goes back to a quick way of solving this. Like if I have 30% more, I know it's going to weigh at least 60 pounds. So if I multiply 60 pounds by 100%, I'm multiplying it by 1. So if I'm multiplying it by 1, okay, then I know it's at least going to be 60. So now I have 30%. Can I multiply by a percent? No, I cannot. Okay, has to be by a decimal. So I'm going to multiply 60 by 1.3. Okay, this particular person, okay, tell her friend how large of a scale store is having, as large of a sale the store is having. Okay, Shelly knows that she bought a shirt for $6 that normally costs $10. Okay, and she wants to know, all right, tell her friends what the decreased price is and by how much. I'm sorry, I've had a lot of just action just come flowing in all around me here in the teacher's lounge. But anyway, take a look at this. This is what she bought it for. This is what it was. What percent did it get taken by? So there's my new price. There's my old. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the new price. That's the old. Divided by the old. So it's a negative, so I know the price has gone down. All right. All right. The store, how much it has sold in the past 5 years. Now, from 2010 to 2011, the average price of a gallon of milk increased by 14%. What was the average price in 2010? So I'm looking at which one of these, okay, or I should say this, 236 is a 14% increase of which one of these. So I'm going to multiply all of these by 1.14. And one of these will give me 236. Okay, the table shows the delivery charge for this pizzeria. All right, by how much did the delivery charge decrease from month 2 to month 3? Okay, well, I have new price minus the old. Okay, so it went up. All right, so, and they even said increase. So new price minus the old. Okay, that's going to give me a number, and then divide it by the old. All right, employees of this manufacturing plant received a 4.5% raise. Okay, cannot multiply by percent, got to multiply by a decimal. All right, number 19. When Caitlin went to bed, the temperature was 36. When she woke up, it was -9. Okay, which one of those represents the change? All right, this is something that, again, people always ask me, when am I ever going to use math? This is a question that you will use your entire life. Okay, if boxes sell at 88 cents per box, or 4 boxes are $3. How much is saved to the nearest cent of each box? All right, so you got to figure out how much it is. $3 divided by 4, and then take the difference. Okay, this next one is just comparing and seeing how much, okay, this particular hair grew over 20 years. All right, now on to 22. All right, and I will try to make these as quick as I can. Okay, this person purchased a car for that amount. 4 years later, okay, the car was worth that. Okay, what was the car's average decrease in value per year? All right, so it's over 4 years and it went down by that amount. Okay, how much did it go down per year? This is just figuring out 23, how this person could have bought the same amount if they used 20-ounce bottles instead of 16. And then an adoption agency, we've had this question before. 3 puppies, 7 puppies, 6, okay? 2 more than a quarter of the puppies they originally had. All right, so I need to add, okay, I need to add 3 and 7 and 6, and it is equal to 1/4 x plus 2. Okay, 1/4 x plus 2. Okay, and then that'll tell me. All right, then the remaining questions. Now, right now, I'm sorry, I'm in the teacher's lounge, and I am currently making copies of tomorrow's test. Okay, that's the noise that you hear in the background. Okay, and so I've got to change things around. Okay, and get back to question 25. Okay, I believe that's the one that we're on. Yes, question 25. Okay, this is substitution. Just plugging in -4 where y is at. Be sure to put parentheses around your -4. Oh, by the way, Jolly Rancher. If a is 0.3 and b is 0.9, then what is a squared b squared? Okay? Or I'm sorry, a squared b squared. Okay, I'm just plugging in and solving. Same way for 27. It's a little bit larger. Same exact premise. Now, I've got to plug in -2 where the a is at. Be sure to use parentheses. All right. 28. Given that x is 1/3, y is 1/4, what is the value of 2 times 1/3 minus 1/4? Okay. Next one. Plugging in 2. Okay. Where the c is at. All right. 30. Okay. I have a minus b. I have a value of a, have a value of b. Plug it in and solve. All right, 31. This is one of my favorites, and this is a very popular question. All right, there are 45 boys and 54 girls. What is the ratio of boys to girls? So I have a ratio of 45 to 54. So basically, it's 45:54. How do these relate? Starburst. All right, 32. The shadows of a basketball goal nearby a light pole, both vertical and on level ground, were measured at the same time. The basketball goal was 4 feet long, the shadow was 4 feet long, and the light pole shadow was 6 feet long. If the basketball goal is 10 feet tall, how many feet tall is the light pole? Okay, this is where you set up a proportion. Make sure that you set it up. On top, actual height. Bottom part, shadow, equals on top, actual height, which we don't know for the light pole, so that's going to be our x, over the shadow. All right, and then 33, we've had several times, all right, what is the ratio of red to the number who selected violet? Okay, and it's just just being able to read the graph. And Sour Patch Kids. All right, guys, I hope you do very well in this test tomorrow. Good luck. Again, I apologize about the lateness of the hour.